Courtney Friel.
And I'm Rick Chambers.
Okay,
Welcome to the KTLA 5 News here at 6:30. That fiery crash happened right in front of a church in Tarzana and in plain sight of a number of bystanders.
One courageous Good Samaritan rushed to the rescue despite the flames. KTLA 5 Steve Kuj is live in Tarzana for us, where that man spoke to us a short time ago. Steve, what do you say?
Good evening, Rick. Yeah, there's more to this story than just this fiery car accident and the Good Samaritan who stepped up to help. There's also the part of all the people who stood around and recorded this disaster with their phones and video, doing nothing while two people nearly burned alive. Right here behind me, this is where the car accident happened. The SUV crashed right into this wall, as you can see, burst into flames, and the heat was so intense that it literally melted the words right off of this church's sign. SUV goes up in flames as small explosions ring out. 4 people were inside this vehicle when it crashed Saturday morning in Tarzana. Simon Warren was traveling a couple hundred yards behind the vehicle when it crashed.
They just pulled a U-turn for no reason and crashed straight into the church over here. They just went straight into the wall.
Witnesses saw the driver and passenger stumble out of the front of the SUV. Simon pulled his car over next to the crash.
The first thing I want to do is help and get in there and make sure there's nobody in the car. When I opened the door and found 2 people in the car, I was just like...
You heard right. 2 people were still in the burning car, a guy and a girl, and they were in rough shape.
There was a Mexican guy whose head was split open and the girl's legs were broken. I dragged her out first, put her on the pavement, dragged him out by his arms, put him on the pavement.
Almost as startling as the victim's injuries was the lack of help from everyone else, according to Simon.
People they weren't doing anything. Everyone was just taking videos and pictures of what was going on. I just couldn't believe it. I had to scream at a couple of guys that were giving me a hand, moving them away from the car before it blew up.
Firefighters arrived and doused the vehicle with their hoses. But by that time, the SUV was completely engulfed. If not for Simon, anyone inside would have burned to death.
I just think it's just so insane that people were standing around not reacting to what was going on. It's a human life. It's the most treasured thing in the world. I mean, to save somebody is the most important thing. If they're burnt to death, what would you have thought?
And thanks to Simon the Good Samaritan, all the accident victims are expected to survive. Rick, Court, I'll throw it back to you.
Yeah, sadly, that's all.